So today we're doing a video about how we feed our ball python. We're going to go over the rodent's size, what types of rodent we feed her, and how big of rodents we feed her, and what to do after you feed them and when they shed. So for rats, we use rat Fuzzies, and we think she's about 3 months old. And so we started her on mice first, but then we switched her over to rats, and that was pretty easy. But you usually want to start her on rats first because sometimes the python may not like the rat, depending just on the smell. It might just be different smell. The reasons why you want to start them on rats is because they're bigger sizes and it has more nutrients than a mouse does. And for ball pythons, it's preferred to fill them up with one big rodent, like a rat, because they come in bigger sizes, than 2 or 3, depending on the size, of little mice. So after you feed them, you don't really want to touch them for about 24 to 38 hours, just depending on the size of the meal you feed them. With pythons, if your python won't take rats, then you can do mice. You can feed them 2 mice instead of just 1 big rat. But it's preferred to switch them over to rats, but if they don't, it's not a very big problem. So for our python, we feed frozen thawed, and she's never really had any problems with that. She always eats almost every time we feed her. But some snakes only will eat live mice, and I mean, that's fine if that's like all they'll eat, but it's preferred to get them on frozen thawed because sometimes the rat can hurt your snake. So there are other options if it doesn't take frozen thawed, but frozen thawed is best. So what we do with our mice is that we defrost them in cold water first, and then we put them in warm water for about 5 minutes, so it gets it warm, and so it kind of has a heat signature to the snake, and so it's more likely that they'll take it. So for pythons, it's kind of tricky to get them to eat, because if they don't eat 1 week, then they could just be going on hunger strikes. They just do that quite often, and it's not anything that's wrong with your snake, but if your snake starts using 10% of their body weight, then that's when you need to go see a vet. So when your snake is shedding, you should just leave it alone, and you should not handle it until it is done shedding. And if you want it to get a whole nice one-piece shed, then you should give it a humidity box, and you just can simply get a tub or a plastic container and cut a hole in the lid, and then you get some sphagnum moss and then get it a little bit wet and then kind of squish out the water. You don't want any sitting water in the bottom of it, and then they should shed pretty good. With pythons, if your python won't take rats, then you can do mice. You can feed them 2 mice instead of just 1 big rat. But it's preferred to switch them over to rats, but if they don't, it's not a very big problem. Thanks for watching. If you found this video informational, please like and subscribe.